Is it ever episode 5?
Yeah. Hello, welcome to episode 5 of Shonen Chomp.
Leave that in.
My name is Chris. That's Steve.
No.
Yes, it is. That's who you are.
Yeah.
If you're a returning listener, welcome. Our audio might be a little bit worse than it has been in the past. You probably don't care or notice. Because it's like that was great to begin with. We're trying out a new thing, so bear with us while we do that. If you're new, then welcome for the first time. Not welcome back. And you might be looking at us for the first time because we're now filming this. It'll be on YouTube. Audio listeners, don't stress out. It's not going to be that different.
It's not going to be different for you. Except occasionally I'll like punch Chris and you won't get the...
No. You get the sound of it. You get the as I react in pain.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can follow us on Twitter at Shonen Chomp. And if for some reason you are like hearing this and you aren't on iTunes, then you can go to Chomp Chain Podcast on iTunes and listen to us there. If not, all right, here, cool, sweet. Steve, you got anything?
No, I don't know.
All right, great. Well, we'll see you next time, episode 6. See you later.
All right. It's a good episode.
So you've been watching anything new?
Nailed it. Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh, we're filming.
Yeah. This is episode 6 now.
Oh,
that
okay.
was episode 6.
That makes sense.
Anything new going on with you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I have.
So you want to start with a bit of news that broke today? A little anime news.
I don't know this.
So I hadn't started watching it yet, but the show is fall 2016 season. Occultic 9.
Yeah.
The semicolon in between it, like Steins Gate and Chaos Head, which I think is another anime. And Robotics Notes. So it's part of the semicolon, the eponymous semicolon series. It's not eponymous. It just got pulled off of Crunchyroll and all those other places.
Why?
By the anime's committee team, whatever that means.
Now
there's no information as to why it was pulled yet. It's literally just the news of like Crunchyroll and whoever saying, yeah, we're taking the show down as per request of the anime's committee. You know, they always have that at the end of the credits or something, like such and such committee.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly why, because I think episode 3 was about to come out today. I could be wrong. But yeah, it's like a pretty weird thing. I don't know if this stuff happens frequently or not, but like it could mean that they wanted to redo something. Maybe there was an issue that they had with like the first 2 episodes or something, or maybe there was a weird licensing issue that popped up. Like I don't know what these things are about, but that's the first time I've ever heard of something like this happening. I'm sure it's not the first time it's happened, but that's a super weird kind of hitch to this new season. Now, I don't really know what the reception to Occultic 9 has been so far. I don't even know a whole lot about it, other than it's like, I think a lot of fast-talking sci-fi. But yeah, I haven't really gotten much of a reception in terms of like fan response. I still had planned on checking it out, and now here we are. It's gone. And I don't know if this is temporary or what.
It is temporary. It doesn't say when it's coming back. It just says temporary.
It's just a strange...
You're still waiting to get it.
It's a strange occurrence, for sure.
It is...
Like, I wonder what the hell...
I don't know. It just said it was by the production team, not by the anime committee. The production committee.
Gotcha.
So it's like... Who knows?
Yeah, maybe they were unsatisfied with something, or they wanted to redo an episode. I don't know how...
Sorry that my giant head's in there. I just wanted to move something.
I don't know how, like, unheard of that might be. For some people to be like, yeah, we just want to redo this episode, or, like, add something to it.
But it's both of the episodes.
Yeah.
And the 3rd episode's still coming out.
That's weird.
It's just not over in America.
It's weird. Maybe there's something wrong with the sub for it. Maybe it's like something is incorrect and they want to like take it down to fix it. It's just there's no reasoning behind it. It's just a strange thing to have happen.
It is. Who knows? It's warranted.
I guess so. You leave us no choice
to find out what happened.
Yeah. In similar news, but good news, I just finally started watching Dragon Ball Super.
You gotta stop jiggling.
Sorry, I'm a very jiggly guy. For those who don't know, I'm shaking the camera. Audio listeners, it doesn't matter.
No.
Maybe your audio is getting jiggly. Your headphones are shaking in your ears right now. So I started watching Dragon Ball Super finally. I thought it was on YouTube. That's false. That's not true. It is, but it's like zoomed in, so it's like not the full picture. I don't know. Because I would always see the videos up, like recommended Dragon Ball. So I was like, I don't know.
It's just people torrenting it.
Yeah, and I thought it was like legit. I don't know why. Come to find out, like 2 days later, no, it isn't licensed anywhere. It's not on Crunchyroll. It's not on Funimation. Nothing like that. And then I watched the first 2 episodes.
Yeah,
they were fun. I'll talk about them in a second. But I think 2 or 3 days ago, doesn't matter. Last week, by the time this is out, they finally announced, I think, Crunchyroll. Yeah, I think Crunchyroll is getting the official sub version of Dragon Ball, and I'm sure that the dubbed version will eventually come, probably like next year or something.
Yeah, I sort of didn't have anything about the dub yet.
But it was like good timing, I guess, because I had just started watching it, the first two. I went in to watch episode 3, and an ad popped up on my iPad, and I never get ads on my iPad. And I was like, this is stressful. All of these websites suck, and none of them were legit. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take a break on this. And then, 2 days later, I hear news that Dragon Ball Super is getting an official release. So I'm actually excited about that. I know that there's like dips in quality throughout it.
Yeah.
But the beginning I've enjoyed so far, and the stuff that's happening now, everybody seems to be pretty excited about. So we'll see how I carry along with that. Because I've been reading Dragon Ball. I just made a video. If you go to my YouTube channel,
don't do it. Don't go to it.
That's annotated. Do we know how to do that?
I don't know.
We'll link it below or some bullshit. For those listening, just go to our Twitter, and I posted our videos there. I just did a Dragon Ball video about the first volume of the manga, and I'm going to go through the whole series. But anyway, Dragon Ball Super. The first episode, what do you think Goku's doing?
Nothing.
He's like tilling fields for some reason.
Not being a dad.
Because Chi-Chi's like, not even Gohan, because Gohan's a grown man now. I'm pretty sure he is married.
Yeah, to Videl.
Yeah, he's married to Videl. I don't know if they have kids. I don't think they have kids. But Goten is still like a tiny boy.
That's how it is in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. But like Gohan, if he seems like he got older, or Goten stayed the same age. I'm sure that's not the case. Anyway, Goku's like working in the field, obviously screws everything up because he's just wacky Goku.
He doesn't want to do anything besides fight and die.
And then Hercule comes with Mr. Satan in Japanese. He shows up and he's like, "Yeah, remember when we saved the world like from Boo in the other show that we were in?" Goku's like, "Yeah, I remember that." Well, Hercule got all the credit for saving the world because they didn't want people to know about flying Super Saiyans and stuff. But he comes and he just gives Goku all like the money that he won for saving the world because that's what happened.
Isn't he already rich anyway?
Yeah, he's super rich. That's why he's like, "Here, take this." So Goku's like, "I shouldn't take it," but he's like, "Nah, come on, dude, take it." So what does Goku do? He goes home. He says, "Hey, Chi-Chi, I don't have to work anymore because we're super rich. Send Goten to school. Fucking bye." And then he teleports out of there.
Nice. And
he goes, "I need to go train." And she's like, "Yeah, all right. Just come home every once in a while. Put another kid in me, I guess, because that's all they do."
He's never home. He's the worst dad.
He's the worst dad.
Just a bad dad.
But so that's the first episode, and then the second episode is there's a flashback. There's a nice little flashback to Dragon Ball Z when they're training to fight Boo, and it's Vegeta with Kid Trunks. When they're like first going Super Saiyan and stuff, and Vegeta punches Trunks like in the face or something because he's like, "Yeah, if you could land a hit on me, like I'll take you, or whatever. I'll respect you if you can land one hit on me." So Trunks starts going crazy and like manages to like graze Vegeta just a little bit on the cheeks of just obviously being Dad of the Year #2. Goku's #1 dad. Vegeta's #2 dad. Vegeta just leans back and clocks Trunks right in the fucking face. There's a flashback to that because it's like he was like, "Oh, shit, sorry, I'll take you to the park. If you want to go to the park?" And Trunks is like, "Yeah, all right. My dad can beat me up and take me to the park. That's all right." So this is finally him making good on that deal. And then Vegeta, Bulma, and Trunks go to a amusement park, and Vegeta's obviously furious the whole time.
Because he can't get on the rides.
No, he's so sure. But it's just him like being grumpy, like on a roller coaster on like the back of like a little like train, eating ice cream, and I was like, "This is the Vegeta that I've been waiting for."
You know what? The thing is, though, he's there. He's taking his kid to an amusement park. Unlike Goku, who's never done anything with any of his kids.
No.
He wasn't even physically there when Gohan beat Cell. He was dead.
He was already dead. That's right.
His ghost was there.
His ghost helped. Yeah, well, you know, Dad of the Year. Anyway, Dad of the Year is aside. I was into both of those episodes. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I know it does. There's like way more actual stuff happens. But.
Yeah, and I don't know how. I know Beerus from Battle of the Gods. He's like a god of destruction. He's from a DBZ movie, which I haven't seen. Now I don't know where that like takes place, but Beerus is in both that movie and in the show. So I don't know what comes from the other. Also, Beerus was in Dragon Ball Xenoverse, and I didn't know who he was. Yet here I am.
Fake fan.
Honestly, I feel like I'm a fake fan. That's why I'm rereading everything.
Fake gamer girl.
Hey, you see Goku back there? No, you can't. It's behind your head. Listener, Steve has a Goku figure behind his head. So yeah, there's that.
I don't know which way to lean because.
Don't worry about it. You're good. You look great.
Goku, Mikasa, creeping, all three of them rotate that way. I didn't do it.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Super's fun, so we'll see.
Yeah. When's it supposed to come on the Crunchyroll? Do you know?
I think in the next few weeks, but it's weird that they're starting like with a simulcast and then they're gonna add like 10 episodes as they go, like per week.
Probably. I think it's just
subtitle and all. Yeah.
Probably just like, hey,
I wonder how that whole thing is still working out, the partnership between Funimation and Crunchyroll. I know that Funimation is getting a lot more dubs. Like, wait,
yeah, they're doing the dubs. I
they're
can't
just
remember.
2 weeks behind now.
It's literally a show that I just looked up. That I can't. Oh, maybe it's Zeta, The Last Witch.
Yeah, that's on.
That
Funimation.
is going to be dubbed on Funimation. Yeah.
Yeah, episode 1's already up. So we talked about Zeta,
That's
The
what I
Last
was
Witch
thinking.
last episode.
Did you catch up?
I still have not caught up. I meant to do that the other night, and then I ended up watching a different show, which I'll talk about later.
Yeah.
I don't want to stray too far. But how was Zeta so far?
Pretty good. Still pretty good. I'm still interested to see what happens. It's still kind of just like, oh, there's a war happening, and she's just like doing stuff, and it's
She's
like
doing
where
magic
it's
stuff?
like, yeah, she's doing magic.
I did see a GIF, and I don't know if this is in a newer episode or not, but she's raining swords down
Yeah,
like a tank.
that's
Is it cool? It looked cool.
It is cool. I mean, the
It
swords,
looked pretty cool.
I don't really. That part was kind of confusing because like I don't really know what the swords were doing.
They were flying down at a tank.
Yeah, but they weren't. They were bouncing off, and then she would just pick up the tank and throw it.
Well,
so it's like
because she's just testing it out. Because she's a witch, so she's from like ye olden times.
I mean, she's
where
not
if you
from,
rain swords on anything, it gets fucked.
She's not from ye olden times. She's from that time.
Is she?
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
She is.
I am aware. I saw someone.
Still good.
Yeah, that GIF looked cool. So I'm like, okay, good.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, she does all the cool stuff before that. I won't spoil it. That was just the part I was like, maybe she needs those to like do magic or something. Like she needs to hit it with that before she can pick it up and throw it. I don't know.
I think it was just a failed magic attempt.
But she does it like every tank. She hits every tank with the swords, and then she just like throws them.
Oh, that's interesting.
Not like she doesn't like Hulk it. She like magics it away.
Oh, that's weird then.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Like maybe she needs to like have something to like some way to like transfer the magic from the sword to the tank to be able to throw it. I don't know. They don't really explain it. It's just she just does
It's like a defensive shield, like these raining swords that she runs in. I don't know.
No, she literally pelts them and then just goes up to it and then just drugs it.
Because it doesn't look cool.
Yeah, it looks cool. The World War II tank.
Bottom line, it looks cool.
Doesn't get practical. Bottom line, looks cool.
I think
Good
that's
show.
important.
Still interested in it. Interesting, like where like, because it's like it's. I mean, like, obviously the German army, Germanians are the big bad, but like it's like the actual one they come from. Because right now it's like no one can stop her. Really.
Something they'll probably have like the Black Witch, like we were talking about, right?
But yeah, I think we said that. They'll probably be like, oh, we made a witch because we're the Nazis. I mean,
Nazis always make witches.
Not allowed to show
Nazi Germania.
Yeah, Nazi Germania.
Makes sense.
It's good.
Did you watch any more of Working?
I didn't watch any Working.
Oh, really?
I was going to. I didn't. I watched a different show.
So I'm on.
How many new shows have you watched?
4 or 5.
Because I think I'm going to stick to just these 2 that I've watched for now.
Oh, I forgot I have notes about stuff. I'll bring those
because
out later.
I don't want to get like too deep into like shows and forget what's happening, which ones.
Yeah.
So I think I want to watch these 2, and then once they're all done, I'm going to just like power through.
That's not a bad idea. I'm watching stuff that's pretty different in genre. I'm not watching any more of Blood and Wars.
Oh, you're not?
All fucking set with that. Thank you very much. All set.
Didn't give it another shot?
No. I didn't even think about it. I don't think after I left this room last time we recorded.
Sort of looked different too last time we recorded.
Yeah, it did. So what did I watch? Oh, Working, yeah.
Working.
Working. I described like the first episode. It's pretty zany.
Is it still zany?
It's still very zany. Now the third episode I wasn't.
They're full episodes, right? They're not like short.
Yeah. But it's like 2 kind of like short episodes together.
I know.
The third episode I wasn't quite as keen on. I don't know if I just was like too tired when I was watching it. But episode 2 I really liked, and I've watched it. It's been like 2 weeks since we recorded. I watched it like right after we recorded the last one. So I kind of don't remember all of it. All I know is that there's a big portion of it that's a flashback between 2 of the characters. Now, they work at the store in the show. One of them is a rich girl, and the other one is this really poor dude whose family is like in crazy debt to the girl's family.
Yeah.
And it just flashes back to when they were kids, and she's like sad because her dad is like too busy like being rich to like have time for her. And the little boy just sits around. He comes over to like visit her house, or his dad does, and he's just sitting there with her, chewing on grass, just like it never. He just keeps constantly eating grass, and he's like, "Yeah, can we move somewhere else? Like I ate all the grass in this area." No explanation for that. He just walks away. And he's like super pragmatic and like not wise. He's kind of he's like wise. He's just like, well, you know, your dad's just like really busy. Like I'm sure he loves you, but like he has a lot on his plate. He's like, maybe you should just say to him that you feel lonely and you want to hang out. Like he's just like super like upfront, like rational about stuff. But he's this little boy eating grass, and that's his whole thing is that she gets like emotional and ridiculous about stuff, and then he says something like super grown up and like responsible and normal. And then finally she's like, oh, let's get married, and he's just like, no. And then like from forever on, she's just hated him because of that. Because he just like brushed her off, and he's like, it's the biggest mistake of my life. But eventually, he just walked up to the girl's dad, still eating grass. Just, he's like, hey, spend more time with your daughter. She needs it. And the dad's like, you're a funny kid. He's like, no, I'm serious. Like, hang out with your daughter. All right? And he's like, all right. And yeah, no, totally, my bad. I'll hang out with my daughter. That's it. Like, that's the whole thing. And obviously, there's stuff going on with, the present day stuff. And I just like that flashback a lot. Certainly different from Izetta.
Yeah.
So I can tell the two apart pretty easily.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, I don't want to watch, like, I feel like goofy shows, it's fine.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't want to watch, like, a bunch of serious shows because then you're like, well, like, what serious thing happened in this one? It's not a real problem actually going to happen. Just, like, I don't want to be overwhelmed.
Yeah, no, I feel it. Now, let me see. Let me pull up my, Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. I'm going to have to, like, actually reference these notes because it's been a while since I watched these. But let's see. So, Jess wanted to watch a show, and it's called Miss Bernard Said.
What?
Yeah.
I've never even heard of that.
And it's, yeah, exactly. It's a short. So, it's like they're 4 minutes long. And I'm just going to literally read my notes, and then we'll work from there. So, I wrote down, pretending she likes to read. There's an Ava reference, Evangelion reference, and tons of other book references that she doesn't actually understand. And in all caps, I wrote down, they talk so fast. Because it's literally probably like 10 minutes of content in 4 minutes. And it's them just talking super fast. And it takes place in a school library. And again, I wish I had watched this more recently. But I think it's like the girl who works at the library just hangs out there because she likes this dude who works there. Or like thinks he's cool or something. So she's constantly making book references that she doesn't understand. She's like looking at the cover and then finds out some other girl like actually likes to read and just thinks she's the coolest shit ever. But it's all happening in a fucking mile a minute. And I'm gonna watch the other. I think there's 2 or 3 more episodes of that. For a total of like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But I gotta watch the rest of that because I had no idea what it was. And Jess was like, put it on, it's short. And yeah, it's really funny and lots of packed full of references. So I'm cool with that. I gotta pull my phone again.
Why don't you just leave it out?
Because I didn't want to be rude.
You just put it on your crotch or in front of Ruby.
Shove it between my fucking cheeks is what I'm gonna do. Alright, here we go. Now it's time to get a little serious. Because I watched March Comes In Like a Lion.
Yeah, didn't watch that.
Has a really long Japanese name. I'm not Japanese. Neither are you, as far as I'm aware.
I'm not.
I'm not gonna try and say the whole Japanese name. March Comes In Like a Lion
March
is good enough. I'm gonna read what I have here and then I'll elaborate. These are just quick notes. Don't judge me.
It looks more than quick notes.
Well, I took yeah, okay.
It looks like a paragraph.
Here we go. So Ray, that's the name of the main character.
Boy Ray or girl Ray?
He's got a deep frown on his face.
Boy Ray.
All the time. Yeah, it's a boy. Big old fucking frown.
Looks like you're doing a mustache.
Big old mustache frown. He lives alone in a messy, almost empty apartment. It's almost empty, still manages to be messy. So that we're talking like
Makes no sense.
Like ultra slob. Like he owns like 4 things and they're on the fucking floor. You know? Like he couldn't even be bothered to put them all in one spot. They're everywhere. Okay. It's funny you get to hear my thought process as I'm going through it. So he plays shogi. It's like, it's a version of, chess or Chinese checkers essentially. Yeah. Fuck my notes.
Or Chinese checkers because I'm just racist.
Yeah, fuck off. So he plays shogi and he seemingly always has. And then I wrote, enjoys it, question mark? Who knows? Yes. He's like a professional shogi player, but he's really young. He's in high school.
It's like you're a detective.
Enjoys it? Who knows? Was a child prodigy, but always winning made others sad. So he'd play with all these other kids and he'd just beat them and they'd be like, well, fuck you. I don't want to beat your friend. And he's like, it's not my fault. I'm better than you. No, he didn't feel like that. He was like, no, nobody wants to play with me. It sucks. He likens beating his dad in shogi, because he beat his dad in shogi, in case that wasn't clear from that sentence. He likens that to hitting his dad in the head with a hammer, like he had heard about it on a news report. So these are some things. The show is very melancholy. Well, actually not all the time.
Honestly, not feeling it for that one description.
Don't worry about my description.
It sounds way too
because it's good.
Dumb.
No, that's like part of it is just his like reflections, but the rest of it is let me tell you. So there's a huge shift when he goes to eat dinner, because it starts from like being dark and somber when he's by himself, and when he's with his friends, like this other family that he's friends with. The show is like it's like a different show. It's like super zany and like crazy and bright and bubbly, and like the color changes and like everything just like opens up and like it's pretty crazy actually. The but the kid clearly like has depression. That's part of this thing. And there's a huge focus on water. They animate water a lot, and they show like water droplets between things. I don't really know what's going on. Other than that, yeah, he plays shogi, is clearly sad about something, and then hangs out with these like super happy, crazy people. I liked the first episode. Don't let my poor description.
It's not your description. It's just like how overly dramatic it was. It's like, no, I'm all set.
Yeah.
The fact that you're like, oh, I beat my dad's chest, and I was like, I hit him in the head with a hammer. Get out of here.
Well, he didn't say that. He's watching it on a news report, and I think he starts thinking about. I don't remember it actually.
It's still a dumb like metaphor. So I'm sure it wasn't that bad.
Jeez, Steve.
Oh no, I beat you at chess, and now apparently it was the same world between murdering you.
I think his dad was a shogi player too, so he was like disgraced when his son beat him.
Wouldn't you be
honor,
like,
Steve?
Wouldn't you be like, sick? My son's way better than me. He's gonna be a champion.
You know, we'd be like, honor.
I don't think so.
You'd be like,
he's not Zuko from Avatar.
You'd be like, son, my honor.
So is his dad Zuko from Avatar?
Yes.
Because the man is obsessed with honor.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'll show you the clip afterwards where just him saying honor.
It's like, and then Ray's like trying to go to sleep that night. His dad just opens the door. He's like, son, my honor. Honestly, my honor. But yeah, that's it for new shows.
That's it? So you gonna watch those?
Yeah, well then I watched the shitty ones the week before.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So
I asked you how many shows you're watching, and you said like 4 or 5. You meant that's how many you've watched.
But
I meant like currently watching. Sticking with.
But I'm watching a different show. I'm gonna take a sip of water. So if you have anything to say, now's your fucking chance, Steve.
How many more shows do you have to talk about?
One.
Okay, because I have one to talk about as well.
Lay it on us.
I want to see if it's the same one. I don't think it's gonna.
I Instagrammed about it last night.
I don't.
It was no. It's not. It was a.
No, I just got text.
Oh. Hold on. Okay, so Steve, you have to fill when I'm taking sips of water. I'm a thirsty bitch, and you know that. You know that about me, and you're ignoring the fact that I'm gonna get thirsty.
Dylan was texting me. I'm sorry.
Oh, from the Chomp Chomp podcast?
Yeah,
that Dylan?
The very thing.
You have his number?
I didn't want to have to name drop, but you forced my hand.
Wow. Okay.
It's on the table.
So I started watching Code Geass.
Okay. So it's not new.
That's not new. It's older, but it's finally on Funimation for like the first time ever. Apparently, it's really long. It's 2 seasons, but like 50-something episodes.
That's not bad.
Pretty
better
sure.
than like Bleach or One Piece.
Yeah, I binged like
Naruto.
5 episodes last night, which is rare for me. Usually, I watch like 1 or 2 things a night, but I watched 5 last night. Got drunk while doing it, so I can't necessarily speak to it the way I'd like to. But
watch it in English or Japanese?
English. It's funny, like
you sure?
Yeah, I watched it in English. It's funny because. I don't know. I mean, it's a slightly older. It's like mid-2000s.
Yeah.
And the voice acting isn't bad or anything like that. It's Johnny Young Bach. What's his name? Guy who plays Ichigo and everybody else.
Just nailed it.
I think fucking nailed it. It's him. He plays the main character, Lelouch. You fucking heard me.
I know what his name.
That's not funny. That's his name.
Just the way you pronounce it.
Lelouch. Like that's how it's fucking said. I don't see what the problem is. I looked up how to pronounce Code Geass. That's how I'm saying it right. They say it in the show too, but they didn't say it for like 2 episodes. So I was like,
how did you think it was pronounced?
That's how I thought it was pronounced.
Yeah,
but I didn't know if it was like Geass or like gay ass. It could be.
There'd be an I in there.
Yeah.
It was Geass.
Yeah, I was correct, but
it's not Goss.
Yes, I didn't want to screw it up. Anyway, yeah, everybody's been hyping the show up. It's like on a ton of like top 10 lists.
Yeah, I know it's really popular.
And I just I don't know. Never really got around to it. It's for those who don't know, it's a show about Britannia, this giant empire. I wonder what that's alluding to.
I don't know.
And it came in and it basically conquered this place called Japan.
Never heard of it.
Wonder what that's alluding to. And just like wiped the Japanese out and changed it to like.
It's not Japania.
It's just Japan. They didn't even try. It's just a Japan.
So they weren't being like. Is that what it is like? Germania.
Yeah, no, it's fucking Britannia.
Francia. You're like, what?
And then Japan. They get like wiped out, and they're called like it's called like Sector 11 or something like that, something along those lines. So they call the Japanese 11s. You're not even a race of people anymore. You're just 11. You're just a number. And so Lelouch, the main character, he like vows when he's a kid that he's like obviously I'm gonna get revenge for what they did to my people. I think he's like half and half. He's like a bastard son of the Britannian king. The Japanese mother. So he's got lots of different like half brothers and stuff, kind of like Game of Thronesy in a way.
Game of Thrones and Attack on Titan.
Yeah, definitely. So it's that's the beginning of the show. The war starts, and he grows up, and he's a Britannian like student, but he's still harboring that hatred in him. You see that he's like really smart and all that. He's like plays chess and beats good people at good chess, doing good things with the good pieces and the good moves. So he's really smart. Whatever. Basically ends up forming a pact. He gets in a dire situation. I won't spoil the whole thing, but he gets in a dire situation. Forms a pact with this. I don't actually really know. It's like AI spirit type thing. She like goes inside of him, so that he gets the special eye, and that's where everything kicks off. There's giant robot battles. He's trying to help these rebel 11s, Japanese, like fight against the Britannian Empire. All this complicated social shit's going on, but his special eye allows him to control people's thoughts. If he like looks at them, he can say like, "I command you to." Like the first thing he says, all these guys have guns on them. He's like, "I command you to kill yourselves," and everybody turns their gun on themselves and blows their brains out. And I was like, "Wow, this kid's not holding back." But it only works once, and in that aspect of it, it's like it takes the good parts of Death Note, where like you have to play within these rules and like the back and forth cat and mouse stuff. So there's a little bit of that going on. It's slowly building up because for the first few episodes, like nobody can like step to him. He's just figuring everything out. But it's clear that there's going to be some people who are like rivaling
it's a
him.
long show.
And since he can only use his mind control on people once, like he used it on this girl who's a rebel, and like he helped her. But then he goes to school and he's like, "Oh shit, that's totally the same girl, isn't it? Like she looks a little different." So he goes, he uses his power on her, and she tells him some stuff. And then he's like, "Yeah, well, don't talk about that." So the conversation ends. He walks away and he says, "Oh yeah, one more thing." Tries to command her again, it doesn't work, and he's like, "Oh fuck." So he wasted it, telling her some no good information. But yeah, the show is like really cool, really interesting, like fast paced enough that, and it's got a lot of like hooks to keep you coming back. That's why I watched 5 episodes in a row. I was like, hell yeah, this is really fun. I can't obviously give too much information on it because I've only seen 5 episodes.
Yeah.
But it's got giant robots. It's got sticky plots. Sticky plot. You stick to it. Like, oh fuck! I can't get it out of my hand. The character design is like fine. The art style looks like Gundam Seed, and I don't know if it's the same studio. It might be.
I would imagine.
Which I'm not actually the biggest fan of, but I don't have a problem with it either. Yeah, it's totally solid so far.
Look up something for my anime.
I'm excited. Yeah. Let's see. While you're doing that, let me think. Is there anything else? Oh yeah. I was gonna talk a little bit of shit about Death Note. I was thinking about it last night when I was comparing Code Geass to it, where I don't have a problem with like the cat and mouse stuff in Death Note, but part of good writing is you write a character into a situation where you seemingly can't get them out of it, and then you, in your head or on paper or whatever, you will run through situations where, okay, like Yagami is in fucking, he's locked up in jail. How am I gonna get him out of here? Now, a writer would run through every single possible scenario and say, does this work? No, that's not plausible. That's not very good. Does this work? No. And then finally you'll be like, okay, that's just crazy enough to work. Like, that's the success of Breaking Bad, which I haven't watched Breaking Bad. But it's like, you get them into the worst situation possible. You just keep making it worse and worse and worse until there's no fucking possible way they can get out, and then you get them out of it. And that's like what makes it compelling and fun. But with Death Note, looking back on it, you realize that everything that Light does and everything that L does, at the end of the day, Light is like, well, I already had this figured out. I knew you'd do that. L does the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew you would do that, and I knew you knew that I was going to do that, and that you would. And
it's like the what was that? What thing you were complaining about with like, the power? Yeah, it was Bleach. It's
yeah,
like
that fight was like, well,
but
since you did that power, let me tell you, I have this power. Yeah, and it is compelling when you're watching it. And it's fun because you're in the moment one. But now thinking back on it, I'm realizing like, well, the writer just was making shit up as she went along, because I'm pretty sure it's a woman. It's like you get to a certain point, and like, well, oh fuck, well, like what is Light gonna have to have done? He buried the Death Note in the woods and left this note here and did all these things. He set these things up so that the situation where his mind has been erased and all this stuff, like it can just go away in a second. Like he's already planned for everything that will happen in hindsight. And it's like, it's clear like you wouldn't have planned for that. You just wrote like, oh, let me just retcon that. Yeah, by the way, he was prepared for this situation. Now, like I said, it is still entertaining. I don't think that I'm gonna win any fans by saying that Death Note isn't that great, because it is. It's a fun watch and it's a fun read. It's like it's a page turner, but it's not like
deep.
It's not like the deep genius level. Yeah, it's a very surface level cat and mouse game. And if it didn't have like such overwrought like gothic themes, then I might be able to like look back on it a little bit more fondly.
Yeah.
But now it's just like because it became that like I wish I had a Death Note and I wrote down Justin Bieber's name in it. I wrote down my principal's name in it. Oh, such a dick. There's just so much of that like angst around it.
There's like no stakes in it.
There's no stakes.
Like he's gonna he's gonna win.
Yeah.
Like no matter what.
Yeah, but it's the one.
And he does until she dies at the end, right?
Yeah. Rip.
Which you know is gonna happen because it's like one of the first lines in that thing. Which once it's like Ryuk is like, yeah, once like whatever, like I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Like when
Eventually,
I'm done.
one of these days,
yeah.
I'll write your name.
Like when I'm done, when you're done being entertaining to me, I'm going to kill you.
Now it's a fun ride, and the themes are good because it's like you can't play God.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a lot of that. I think
I never ended up finishing it because I watched like most of it and read some of it, but I was like, it's boring because it's literally just like, no, I'm fine. I'm gonna get out of this.
Yeah. The most compelling part is Light versus L.
Which is
it's just that, but it's just because they're both doing that, so you're like, what the hell? And you don't know because L is such a prominent character that you don't know like who's actually gonna win because he seems like he's the other main character. We all fucking out on that one.
Well.
Anyway, so what's this anime you were gonna talk about?
So I watched what could potentially be best anime of the season.
BAOTS?
Yeah, sure. I don't know why you made it that long.
Anime of that. Yeah, whatever.
It's
Boats.
I actually found it.
Yeah, it was lightning when I was driving over here.
I had like heard of it before. I'd seen something where like the manga of it. Never like I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm not interested in it.
Yeah, well,
saw it on Crunchyroll. Was like, you know what? This description, I'm gonna watch this. It's called Kiss Him, Not Me.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what the show's about?
I think Jess was looking into this.
It's a great show.
Lay it on me. I don't know.
I looked at the girl's name because I couldn't remember it. It's Sarinuma K-san.
Sarah?
Sarinuma.
Can we call her Sarah? Is that?
No, that's her last name.
Okay.
She's what the kids call a Fujoshi. Do you know what that is?
It's a pretty girl, right?
No. Fuck. It is a girl who is really into yaoi.
Nice.
Hence the title.
Nice.
So it starts off with her being.
So yaoi, if you don't know, is boy love.
Boys love. Yeah. Fujoshis are boys love.
Just like
lovers of boys love.
If me and Steve were kissing up on each other, it's not gay. It's yaoi.
I mean, it's gay.
Not good.
So it starts off with she's like fat and ugly, but she doesn't care because she's just super into boys love. And there's like these two boys in her class. She's like imagines being together as her friends. No,
could it be us?
It could be.
In a different reality, could it have been us?
It could have been, yes. But so the show like it starts off like the first half of the first episode. It's like she's fat. She's imagining stuff, and she's got like this like lower classman who's in the like health community with her who hates her, and then there's just senpai who's just like the best dude. Like he's my favorite character by far.
Senpais are always locked in.
He's got like long hair. He looks kind of like if you shaved and were like
and cool
Japanese. He's not that. He's like soft spoken and smart and like the nice guy.
Cool. Like like me.
So like those are like the four main boys.
Yeah. Cool.
So she's just like they're like. Two of them are mean to her. Two of them are like kind of nice. The senpai is super nice to her. One of the dudes is like, "Yeah, I'll be nice if I have to." Mm-hmm. Like he's not like a jerk, but he's not like.
He's not going out of his way.
Yeah,
to be
like
mean.
the senpai is going out of his way to be like nice.
Yeah.
This guy's like kind of nice. The two other guys are jerks. She goes home one day to watch her favorite anime. Loves it.
Is it yaoi?
No, it's not. It's not. It's like it looks like a fantasy kind of show. But,
you know what else is called the yaoi?
What?
The Australian Bigfoot. Called the fucking yaoi.
Because he has the giant yaoi hands?
Yeah, they just... they kiss each other.
So yeah, it's like some fantasy show. Obviously, I think she ships dudes in the show. Because that's just how she is.
Diverse.
She's got this favorite character in the show, Shion. Kind of looks like one of the boys. One of the mean boys. Kind of looks like him. Her room's like... Using my room's bad with the Ruby stuff. It's like, she's got like a body pillow, posters, like a cardboard cutout. Mm-hmm. She goes on to watch the episode because she's like, it's a big episode. Like, I can't wait.
Yeah.
She's sitting there. She's like, watching it. It's like a big fight scene between Shion and some bad guy. things are going. It's a heated battle.
For sure.
Who knows what's gonna happen?
I can feel the tension from
Do you know
here.
what's gonna happen? You know what happens?
Do they kiss?
No.
What?
Shion dies.
Wait, what?
The character in the
Her
show
favorite character?
dies.
No.
And
That's
then
terrible.
She becomes.
What is she gonna do?
She becomes depressed.
What? That's not funny.
And doesn't leave her bedroom for 2 weeks.
What?
Her bed for 2 weeks.
That's not funny.
So then it cuts to her friend. She has a friend at school who also is into yaoi.
Sure. You always gotta have one. That was me and you.
Yeah, they get
You were my one friend who was also into yaoi.
They get into arguments over which of the two schoolmates are like the top and the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Don't mind me. I'm just
she's like, I haven't seen her in 2 weeks. Like, I'm starting to get kind of worried. Like, what happened to her? And then eventually, the main girl, Kay, so he never has like an older brother who's a jerk. He's got like a shaved head and then like hair, and he's got a weird haircut. Kinda, it looks weird. It's weird.
Does it look like Future Trunks?
Kinda, yeah, kinda, but like it's like like they're not. I think it's just like whatever the way they drew it, but it looks kind of like almost like dreads, but it's not dreads. Mm-hmm. It's weird. It's weird hairstyle all around.
These teens.
But her mom who looks almost exactly like her when she was like fat and gross looking, is like, I'm really worried like about your sister. And the brother's like, I'm done with this. So he walks in, goes to the bed, and just yanks the covers off her, and she's super pretty, obviously.
What?
So now she's like,
in 2 weeks.
Now she's like, oh babe. She goes back to school. She's like freaks out at first because she's like, what happened?
Okay.
Goes back to school. Everyone's like, who's the hot new girl? Right? What was that? It sounded like your phone took a picture.
It did. Oh fuck! Was it a ghost? Do you remember the time? Were you there when I was camping and I went to sleep in my car because I didn't have a tent or some bullshit like that. So I ended up sleeping in the back of my car, and I woke up in the morning. My phone was just like above me. My car was also locked, and I just woke up in the morning and like checked my phone, and I just 2 fucking mystery pictures from 4 a.m. Where did those mystery pictures come from, huh? Anime audience, where did they fucking come from? Tell you where they came from. Ghosts. Continue, please.
So she goes back to school. Everyone's like freaking out. She runs up to her friend. Her friend is like, "Oh, it's you." Like, I realized by the way you act. And those 2 boys who they ship together are both instantly like, "She's a babe. We're into her
for sure, bro."
And she's like, "What? Like, I don't know what to do. Like, what's?"
She's not used to being hot.
No, and she's like, she's not really like interested in dating. Eventually,
your cat just came back on the scene.
She did.
I'm nervous. If you're watching the video version of this, I don't know if my face is beet red because I'm viciously allergic to cats. This thing was sitting in my fucking
Don't
seat.
call her a thing.
She's okay. She's not. No. I told you, a bitch knows a bitch. I'm a bitch and she's a bitch, and we both know it. She was giving me so much fucking side eye when I walked in. She's like, "Oh, did you want to sit here?" I had no. Well, I can get up. I can get up if you want me to. Like, no, it's totally like I don't mind at all. And I was like, Carly, like, why are you? Like, you knew I had to sit there. She's like, no, like I get it. Like, it's fine. I'll just go back on the bed. I was like, well, if you want to stay there. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So those 2 boys are into her. Eventually, the other jerk kid, like he's a Kohai, younger than her.
Kohai, yeah.
He's he starts to get into her, and like so basically they're all asked her on a date, and the senpai shows up, and he's like, "Yeah, do you want to hang out on Saturday too?" Because he's sort of just like, no, he's like, I honestly think he was just like, well, everyone else is asking her, like I was supposed to ask her too, right? Because he's just like super nice, and it doesn't seem like he's like. I mean, he totally is trying to date her, but he seems like out of all of them, the least like into her.
Yeah,
he's
just doing it because well, everybody else
seems
to like her. Like, am I supposed to like
it
too?
I feel like he's sort of just like, well, I was friends. He recognized it right away, too. By the way, he's the only person who's instantly just like, oh, hey, sorry, and we're like, what's going on? And he's like, oh, you can tell about like your energy or whatever. But she has to go on a date with the 4 of them, and she's like, listen, because her friend's like, this is like your chance to be like a normal girl. Because you haven't been normal this like whole school year. Like, these 4 dudes want to take you on a date. That's like one of the most normal things to do. So she's like, okay. Spends like all day getting ready. Goes on the date. And is like struggling. Like every time something happens, it's like she like sees it as yaoi. She's like the 2 like they go to see some like romance movie, and like the 2 boys who she ships, one of them just like falls asleep and lays his head, and she's like we're like trying to freak out, and then like
she's just like a huge perv.
Yeah, right? She is. She has like this weird, like they give her this weird face when she's like dreaming about it. She like drools, her eyes get all bloodshot and creepy.
That's amazing.
She gets wicked like sketchy. And then I can't remember what the senpai and the kohai end up doing something, and she's like, wild card. Wasn't expecting this to happen. Not only do these two dudes get together. But she's like, no, I gotta keep
How many episodes did you watch of this?
2. This is all the first
That's so much in 2 episodes.
This is all in 1 episode.
It's my favorite show.
It's fantastic. So this is only if you're into the first episode, the second episode gets good too. But
I'll definitely watch this with Jess.
So she ends up she's like I gotta go you finish the movie. She's like I gotta take a break because this is
too hot,
wearing me thin. I can't keep pretending I'm not into this stuff. And then the end of the episode is the 4 of them or the 5 of them are walking, and then she's all they're all like yeah it was fun. She's like yeah thanks, and then she hears in the background this dude with the anime story. It's like hey you got a big show going on right now, lots of red stuff, and she's like no. She's like you've almost made it through because she hasn't done anything yaoi or
she hasn't been an otaku.
Yeah, she hasn't been an otaku yet. This whole the date she's been holding it in, and she's like no she's like I can do this, I can beat this. I know it's rare items, but I'll be able to get them some other time. It's fine.
I wouldn't be able to resist.
And then this dude's like yeah there's only one rare item left, and she's just like I'm sorry. She literally says to them I'm so sorry, and then just runs into the store, and they're like what? What?
Wait, did they not know that she was into all that
they
stuff?
They do know. I think they just thought that. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they don't. If they do, they somehow forgot when she got pretty. I don't know. It's weird. It's like the one flaw the show has.
Doesn't matter. It's not.
So she goes in. She walks out. She's at the body pillow of Shion.
Nice.
Oh, bless her. She's like, I'm sorry, you guys. This is who I really am.
Yeah.
I'm into yaoi.
You gotta embrace it.
I'm into this guy.
You gotta embrace it.
Or I shouldn't say she's into yaoi. She's like, I'm really huge into anime. Big otaku, that's just who I am. And then eventually the senpai is like, it's cool. This is the happiest I've seen you all night. It's when you're waiting to get your anime stuff.
I think senpai is my OTP for
He's
her.
great. I don't know. I hope that she doesn't end up.
Do you have a best boy yet? Do you have
senpai is the best boy.
A husband? Husband with an O at the end of it.
I don't know.
It's the opposite of waifu.
It's tough because senpai is the nicest one.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get the Shion.
Nice
Shion
guys finish last though.
Right? Shion who's the bad boy. He's the tsundere. So
okay.
I'm kind of into him.
Okay.
He's second episode. Spoiler for part of it. She's trying to practice for soccer, and I can't remember their names. It's confusing because she called one of them's Nana. I know that, and the other one's
Papa.
Iga.
Oh, it's Iga.
Because it's 7 and 5 because that's how the two girls talk about them being together without them knowing. They go oh it's 9 times 7 or 7 times 5. She's like no it's 5 times 7. That's who's the top whatever. I think Nana is the Shion lookalike, and she's like oh I'm gonna practice for soccer. I've never played but I'm gonna do this. And the one dude's like oh I play soccer. I'm in the soccer club. I'll treat you. And the bad boy's like I'm not gonna help you out. You're dumb. This is stupid. Whatever. And it's part of he ends up seeing her practicing all alone. Working hard, and he's like, well, if I have to, I'll help.
He's like, I fucking love hard work.
Yeah. Basically.
That show seems amazing.
It's fantastic. Her voice takes a little getting used to because it's which is weird, but it's hard to describe. It sounds weird. I don't really know what to say. Sure. But it's a fantastic show.
That reminds me when she has her face for whenever she gets all yaoied up. When she's about to bust.
Yeah.
Completely different, but in Umaro-chan, which I finished. I don't remember if I talked about it. I just saw a 10 out of 10 all the way through. It was only 12 episodes. You're good. Watch that shit. Vader, I know you're doing it. Whenever she tries, when she wants something from her brother, she'll turn in from, little, tiny version of herself back into the normal version. And every time she does it, I know I talked about how she sparkles, but it, has her name go across the back of her head, and, it just goes, Umaroon, every single time, and I fucking just watch, YouTube compilations of that. Umaroon, every time she transforms, it just singing her name that way.
I wonder if I can find a picture of what she looks like all creepy.
Cool. But yeah, Umaro trying to get, I loved every single episode of that show, I think. There's a beach episode, just like every anime is supposed to have a fucking beach episode, I guess. It's not really that creepy, though. It's a tiny bit. There's one character. It's the brother's friend who meets one of the girls and is like, well, how is this girl 15? Because she, looks a certain way.
Yeah.
But other than that, he's not really creepy about it. He just is like, what the fuck? And then he's just nice to her. But yeah, that show is fantastic. It's funny the entire way through. In one episode, she accidentally knocks out her own internet. She spills soda all over the modem. She's devastated. Poor girl.
It's all just pictures of her being pretty. It's not what I'm looking for, people.
Come on, people. So is this on Crunchyroll?
It is. It's on Crunchyroll. First two episodes. I think the third episode comes out soon.
Oh, it's just airing now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's why I said it was a season. Come on.
Oh.
It's brand new.
See.
The manga's been out for a while.
Yeah, I've seen the manga. I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's just her when she's fat.
I think it's at Barnes & Noble. Just bought some manga from there today. No, I didn't. I bought it on Amazon, then I went to Barnes & Noble.
That's like, this is like low level.
Oh, that's low level.
She gets
show
creepier.
it to the camera. Just for the audience at home, she's got no nose, and it's all
usually
beet red.
Usually,
like me right now, but I have a nose.
Her eyes are all white. There's just a bunch of veins in them.
So she looks like Super Saiyan.
She goes from like angled to like round, and then just like drool. It's so funny.
It sounds amazing.
It's a great show. I was like,
yeah, I was not expecting you to pull that wild card out.
I wasn't, because I had heard of it. Like I'd always seen the manga. I'm like, listen. I was like, like, it's like one of those. It's like a reverse harem kind of.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not into it. Whatever. And then I read the description, and I was like,
it's kind of funny.
You know what? It seems like it's gonna be funny. I'll give it a shot and see what happens. And I was like, this is incredible, because it doesn't, like, so far, doesn't seem like she's really into any of the boys. She's basically just like, that's why it's called Kiss Him Not Me. She's like, no, these two boys go together, and now all of a sudden these two boys coming out of left field, I think they deserve to be together.
Amen.
Especially because it's like he's a third year and a first year. Like, come on.
That's sexy.
He's really, the senpai's really tall, Kawai's really short. Like that match made in heaven. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
just
this.
A lot of
some
sword
of this.
fighting.
Some of this.
Yeah. No, that's what at the end of the day, Kiss Him Not Me.
It's a great show.
That sounds great. I'm into it.
You're looking for something funny to watch?
Definitely sold me more on that than I probably sold you on Code Geass.
I mean, I know Code Geass is good.
I was drunk while watching it.
I watched it. Yeah,
but it was good. I was still having a good time.
Yeah, third episode is either out today or tomorrow.
I'm psyched. I'm gonna watch them all this weekend.
I think that is the same thing.
And then I'm gonna come back here next time we record and just say all the same stuff that you said.
Yeah, it's a great show.
So guys, watch this show, right? Check it out.
I don't know if you've heard of it. Kiss Him Not Me.
So you must be pretty excited because tomorrow,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Ruby season 4 comes back.
Excuse me.
I don't know if you know
Excuse me. Volume 4.
Volume 4. I don't know if you know. So right now, if you're not watching this, there are 4 Ruby art prints, framed art prints behind us.
Made by somebody else, not.
There's Steve is wearing a Ruby shirt. There's a life-size Ruby figure next to me. It's not life-size, but it's large.
She's full.
Definitely, Steve is drinking out of a Ruby cup.
I'm not wearing my Ruby socks. Saving those for tomorrow.
So I'm wearing a dirty shirt.
You think I'm not? You think I wasn't like, oh, where my Ruby socks in? I was like, wait a second.
You were saving for tomorrow.
Yeah, take a shower at night. My Ruby socks on.
So it's safe to say Steve fucking loves Ruby.
I don't know.
If you don't know what Ruby is, it is an animated show from Rooster Teeth. It's not technically anime. In fact, not at all. It is animation, but it's in the style of anime. He's holding up the Blu-rays now. Volumes 1, 2, and 3. It's used as like a CGI animation. Manages to be more consistent than the latest Berserk series. Despite
this is the Japanese collector's edition of Volume 1.
It's pretty. He's holding it in his hands.
Yeah.
It is about a group of teenagers who go to a military academy
to learn to fight monsters.
I like it because it reminds me a little bit of Final Fantasy VIII.
It definitely has that vibe. I'm pretty sure. I would assume that someone that created. I mean, obviously Monty was a fan.
Yeah.
Because he had those
Dead
fantasy
Fantasy stuff. Yeah. So I like it for that because if you don't know, I fucking love Final Fantasy VIII. But yeah, it's cool. Everybody has really crazy, ridiculous weapons.
Yeah.
Ruby is RWBY because it's Ruby, Weiss, don't tell me, Barbara, and Yellow.
Nailed it, dude. Honestly.
So Blake and Yang. Yang's my favorite. How did I not remember her name?
Big fan, dude.
So one more time, their names are Ruby, Weiss,
Rose,
Barbara, and Yellow.
Ruby Rose, Weiss Schnee, Blake Belladonna, and Yang Shalom.
And their names together create Ruby, which is the name of their team. I'm not the one who should be talking about this.
I don't know why you did it anyway.
Because in case people don't know.
I know, but I mean, like, I don't know why you started and then just automatically handed it off. It's fine. I don't know what you want. Now I'm confused.
Yellow's my favorite.
I know Yellow's your favorite.
She's cool. She's
like cool. Tifa. She's on my shirt.
She's on your shirt.
She got shotgun gauntlets.
She has shotgun gauntlets. Like Dante.
Briefly visible
from
in
Double May
that
Cry.
picture. Except that light's glaring it up. But, yeah, comes out. Starts tomorrow. If you're a first member, which obviously I am.
Rooster Teeth first.
Rooster Teeth first member, which is basically their sponsors. Was a sponsor.
Yep.
You gotta watch. I think it's Sunday for non-sponsors. You should catch up because you're on Volume 2. Volume 3 went off the chain. It was like because it was just like goofy fun times. Here's some kind of serious stuff, but like, oh, there's a terrorist plot, but let's make it funny.
Yeah,
you know.
Fine. Fine.
Volume 3 was like, we're done with that. Like,
The visuals have improved markedly.
Especially
I saw the trailer for the new one.
For the Volume 4, it's like, oh, like, why didn't Berserk look like this? Like, Volume 1 of Ruby isn't, I mean, it's good animation-wise, but it's not fantastic. It's still better than Berserk. Like, and this was, what, 2013?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, Berserk? What's going on?
Everybody was making fun of the clang sound that Guts' sword makes, because it's so ridiculous. I still love that. That was my favorite part of the whole show, was the sound that his sword made. It's such an absurd, loud, insane sound. It doesn't sound like a sword. It sounds like somebody just, like, at a construction site, just, like, dropped a bunch of metal, and they're like, oh no, look out. That's Guts cutting people in half. Oh,
reminded me of, in one of the episodes, in the last episode that I watched, the third one, she has, like, a lance that she's using magic on, and they shoot at it, and she, like, blocks the bullets with it. And bullets, like, block off it. It almost, like, it reminded me of, like, the sounds, like, the angels make, like, the weird, like, creepy, screeches. And I was like, I don't know if that was intentional, or if it was just, like, they just pulled that sound effect, but it just sort of reminded me of it. If you watch it, let me know. I don't know if it was just, like, I was like, that sounds like an angel. Like, the first angel. Mm-hmm. He's, like, making up, then they make those, like, screeching noises.
The angels in Evangelion are so fucking creepy.
Yeah, sure.
That's why, like, I'm reading the manga for Evangelion. It's cool. It's a similar but slightly different adaptation, coming straight from the source material, but there's actually, like, interviews in it with the author of the manga being like, yeah, I wanted to make it, like, more, like, approachable and, like, a light, more, like, shonen type thing, but it can't be done. Like, you can't really make Evangelion light.
I know that there definitely are, like, some changes to make it, like, less
It's definitely less dark.
But it's
he doesn't do the unless I'm away thing.
Yeah.
It's just always in my fucking head every time I think of Evangelion. But that's cool.
Yeah. So Volume 4 coming tomorrow, so expect the next episode me to be insane about it.
Cool.
I'll be like, oh.
I'll watch more of Code Geass.
Yeah,
no,
you gotta watch.
Did I talk about how Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is on Crunchyroll? If I didn't mention it before, I'm going to say it again because...
Just say it briefly, because I want to say you did, but I don't know.
It was taken off of Funimation. They lost the rights to it briefly, and the prices for the Blu-rays went way up. It wasn't on Netflix or anything like that. And as somebody who always, like, meant to watch it, I was super bummed and had no way to access it, because I don't pirate anything ever. I just try to watch them.
Yeah.
But now it's back on Crunchyroll in English, which is weird.
I don't think it's that weird.
Well, no, Crunchyroll is now, like, they're doing English stuff.
I know, but I mean, like, they always have dubs on there.
How have you?
I want to say that I think just the Full Metal Alchemist dub is the more popular one.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, by far.
It's one of them. It's one of the good ones.
It's one of the ones that has, like, they went all out.
That's good. It's good.
At least the original one was.
I found out today that the Japanese voice actor for Goku, guess how old he is?
Very old?
Just throw a number out. We'll see.
60.
89.
That was off by quite a bit.
I said to this King Harlequin on Instagram, I said,
name drop.
Why does Goku sound like Mickey Mouse? And they responded with, because the voice actor is 89. Go fuck yourself.
You were like, wow, okay.
My bad. He went Super Saiyan.
No disrespect.
Honestly, no disrespect. Didn't know.
What happened to love and loyalty?
What happened to love and loyalty, bro?
All
right. What do we have for time?
53 minutes.
Okay. Do you have anything else? Because I'm spent.
No, I'm pretty spent too. Because like I said, I only watch those two things. Next week, I'll probably have more. I'll be all about Ruby. I'm gonna try to rewatch Volume 3. Oh yeah. Probably tomorrow afterwards. Because I'm gonna get so stoked. I've watched 1 and 2 enough. I don't need to rewatch them. Only like a dozen times each. More than that probably. So yeah, I don't know anything else you want to say.
Yeah. Okay. Follow us on Twitter at Shonen Chomp. Chomp Chain Podcast on iTunes. If you're watching it on YouTube, like and subscribe.
Yeah, we'll probably have this up over the Shonen
put
Chomp
information
channel
around. Yeah, we're gonna have a new channel for this.
Yeah, we'll put stuff in we'll put some links in the description.
Dump the links. If you're listening to this like on iTunes or wherever, and you wanna come find us on YouTube, I think this will just be youtube.com/ShonenChomp. My channel is, I think, youtube.com/CrimsonKing118. I've linked to it a billion times on Twitter. I'm Chris Mauser on Twitter, which is not how you say my last name. My last name is Mosier. But it's Chris, Mozzer. Steve is Chaos Knight 19. That is not his real name. His real name is Steve.
Is it?
It's pronounced Steve, spelled Chaosknight19, but it's pronounced Steve.
It is. It's really confusing. I don't know why I was named that.
So that's us on Twitter, YouTube, all that stuff. Now, I apologize again for the audio quality of this if it's not as high, if it sucks listening into your headphones. I'm it sucks for hearing my own voice too. So I'm right there with you.
We'll figure it out.
We're gonna set things up. We're just taking baby steps. We wanted to do YouTube stuff, but we didn't want to take away the audio stuff. So we're gonna try and do both. Yeah. And hopefully that this didn't suck for audio listeners. And hopefully you don't get struck by lightning because it's fucking thunders.
Yeah.
Lights just flicker a little bit, I think.
Yeah, that's fine.
Anyway, thank you for listening, and like, subscribe, follow us on iTunes, Twitter, all that junk, and we love you. And what's something that you would say in like an anime? To say goodbye. Yeah. Okay. Good. Boom.